Caller, you're
Oh,
live.
Hey, how are you?
You want to bring your camera down a little bit?
yeah, tip your camera down. All right.
There we go. Costa,
How are you? Good to see you guys. Hey,
Yeah,
Sage, how are
likewise.
you?
good.
Good. How are you? I am just coming on to. I saw the pilot, or was it last week? And I just had some comments on that I need to clarify. First of all, drivers, um, and everyone listening who is a carrier, what the broker is currently talking about right now is the definition in textbook of weaponization of ignorance. That means he's feeding you information knowing that you're not going to understand what it is and then base certain things off of that. So,
Sure.
federal regulations, as
Yep.
instituted by Congress,
Mhm.
have the force of law, specifically when it comes to the FMCSA. So, a broker, for example, cannot make you waive that right. The only people
Correct.
that have the exemptions to do that is the FMCSA themselves.
Yeah,
In
but I
certain
never said.
situations, for example, like hurricanes or something like that, they have the ones that are allowed to make that waiver. Brokers and everyone else cannot. Let me try to fix this camera. I'm sorry, Sage and Mark. 1 second.
That's okay.
Never said force you to waive the right. Did I? Did I say I could force you to waive the right?
You're not forcing me by putting in instituting in a written contract. It's absolutely unenforceable. It's what's called coercion, and coercion is not allowed. That is basically another words of saying you are forcing someone
You wa-
to violate a federal regulation.
Can you waive your own rights? Yes or no?
You, no, you don't have that. In regards to
Yeah.
a regulation by the FMCSA, the Congress has, in specific case of the FMCSA, the
Right.
Congress has stipulated that those regulations have the force of law. A individual like myself now, who is a carrier, cannot sign and force that exemption. I cannot. I'm going to waive
Yeah.
it. Now I could do it by violating a law or regulation, but a
Nope.
broker cannot make
Yes.
you sign that waiver.
You have the right to waive your rights. Right. I have the right to remain silent. You have the right to waive that right. Correct.
Completely different. Completely
Not.
different when it comes to the FMCSA. So again, I
Why?
need you to stop saying that.
Why would the FMCSA be different to be able to waive? You don't have the right to waive your right with the FMCSA. Can you show me where that's
You don't
where
have the right to waive a regulation. Miranda rights are not a regulation. Okay,
okay,
so
so
again, don't
the law,
confuse
the
something
regular
that has nothing to do with something else. Again, Congress has instituted the FMC to publish regulations and have the force of law. Okay, and these, once you go into
what
the
is
realm of the law, then
what's
you
the
cannot waive your rights to that regulation. What you're
what's
talking
the
about in terms of, let me just finish and then I'll let you go, Sage.
sure.
When you have the waiver of the broker transparency. The only reason that waiver even exists is because there's a sentence at the end of that broker transparency in the FMCSC regulation that says unless decided upon in a private contract.
Correct.
Hours of service, for example, doesn't have
You
that language for its
know
hours of
private
contract.
you,
So again, you're not letting me finish, dude. I'm just trying to tell you that that one specific regulation, the broker transparency, can be waived because it is written in the regulation unless decided upon in a private contract. Hours of service, also regulation, does not have that language. It cannot be waived. It is not enforceable. And if it's attempted to be enforced, then it goes into the coercion aspect of the law. So again, I'm here to clarify, not argue. So I appreciate the discussion. I just want to make it understood that the FMCSA's regulations are not waivable unless it's specifically written. And that's why the broker transparency laws or regulations that are in place can be waived under private contract. It is
you
not
know
the same as the hours of service. Go ahead,
do you know
Sage.
why
Sorry about that.
do you know why it can be waived for as a private contract?
Specific examples and exemptions that are in place, but they're
Right.
very, very strict. But go ahead.
Did you know why? I asked you. Do you know why the federal government doesn't interfere in private contracts?
it's the freedom of contract. Okay, I'm sorry. Don't. I'm not gonna have you give me lessons on the law. Okay, and I specifically wanted to come up here and
Here,
understand and tell you guys what the problem is in the industry that I'm relatively new in, but I have a background and a specific type of background that has investigated this. Okay, so and I want to preface this conversation by telling you guys, okay, my entire job for a certain period of time was to distinguish and figure out what was the problem in the industry in terms of the relationship between all parties, third parties, brokers, drivers, carriers, even dispatchers, was to find out what the disconnect was and what the hell was going on in that practice. So,
absolutely.
and I give you a
Agree.
slight example. So, Sage, if I ask you in this industry, what's your company's name? What's your MC? Are you going to
What?
answer?
Yeah, JEL
What's your
agency
okay?
seven
What's your
seven
MC then?
777 060. That was
Okay.
my MC.
Do you understand that in this industry you're cloaked in ambiguity, meaning people don't even
No,
like to disclose that information. They don't
no,
like to even advertise this kind of stuff.
no,
Okay.
not at
Well,
all.
let me tell
Not
you based off experience. So my name is Costa Janulius. Okay.
okay.
I'm a formal
But you
federal agent of the FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit. My MC now is
but
1616146. I'm a
wait, hang on.
GS 15 agent. Okay. And all
That's
I did was go after these individuals who were doing these things.
so why
Okay.
don't you?
And
Okay,
what
wait.
your conversations of last week and this week are absolutely wrong
They're not wrong.
in this. They're
Wait,
absolutely wrong. And I'll give you
hey,
specific examples of
why
what
don't
you
you?
are telling people. Okay. That is
What's
absolutely ridiculous. Okay.
wrong? And
That
first
don't
of all,
exist in the real world.
are
In
you
the
done
matter
talking?
of law, we sat there with the Department of Justice, the FMCSA, insurance regulatory agents, okay, everyone across the board and said, here is what is going on in the industry. What's fact? What's fiction? What's going on? Okay, and then you're going off and you're making these statements like they're facts.
Hang on.
Okay,
Why
so
don't
that's
you
where I
start with?
come in and
Stop,
clarify.
stop, stop. Hang on. Can you stop talking for 5 minutes? For a couple seconds? So first I asked you why the federal government can't interfere in the private contract. Do you know why? Yes or no?
It's called the freedom of contract. Okay, that's
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's called the
okay.
contract
Explain to me.
clause of the It's the contract clause of the Constitution. It's in the Constitution. It's a
And
contract clause
what does that specific language say in that contract? Okay, what is
that
it's the freedom of contract? But go ahead.
the federal government can't interfere in a state contract. Yes or no?
I don't
So when I
understand why you're getting upset. I'm just telling you what that law you're talking about specifically
correct.
says.
What I'm trying to explain to you is if I make a private contract and I basically say, hey, you're going to waive these rights, which you can't waive those rights because it's a regulation, not a law. Can I make that contract? Yes or no?
You're giving a very broad statement, and it depends what the contract says.
I just told you, waiving the rights. It's not a broad statement. Why you
It
not? Why
is.
you?
You just
You
said if I write a contract, does the
can you
federal
waive the,
government?
can you waive the
Sorry,
right to
go ahead.
waive the right to the broker transparency?
Hold on, Mark. I just want to say, Sage, and I apologize too. There's a, and why you say I'm interrupting, there's a small delay.
Okay.
So I don't know if, like, I'll start talking, then I'll hear you, and then there's a pause. So I apologize for that. I don't want to, I'm not over speaking on you. I don't do that. I'm just, there's a little delay in there. So ask your question again. I'm sorry.
Can I ask you to waive your rights to broker transparency?
Yes.
Okay. So you came on saying I couldn't do it. Yes or no?
You didn't hear what I said before. The
So
reason why you can do that is because of the regulation and the way it's worded. There's a
where did I?
sentence in there
Where did
that
I lie?
says, unless,
Where where did I? Where was I incorrect in regards to that? To me saying I can't do that.
no, you're asking me a question. I'm answering your question, and then you answer it with another question. That's not the way this goes, dude. I'm just trying, you're just trying to make a general statement that the federal government doesn't have the right to,
Correct. Correct.
go in and say, like, I'm going to control this contract. That is correct. But
Okay.
there's
Thank you.
coercion rules.
Now hang
Okay.
on. Hang on. Now I want to know. I want you to tell me last week where you make blanket statements and you go into all this other stuff, but you don't give examples of what I said last week. So can you give me the examples of what I said last week that were wrong or incorrect?
I don't work like that. I'm gonna go back to what we were just talking about because I want to be explicitly clear. The broker transparency, the only reason it's allowed to be waived is because the FMC regulation, the way it's worded, is allowed to be waived. The hours of service doesn't have that language in there to be waived.
You know, you can ask for an hour of service waiver, right? You can ask for it. You can ask for it.
You certainly can. The only way that it is able to happen is if you have expressed written permission.
Correct.
By
But
the
you
carrier
can
associate. You cannot. But
you
a broker cannot ask you to sign that if it's in the contract.
You can. I didn't say they could. I said you can ask for an hours of service regulation waiving of your hours of service. You, the carrier, can ask the FMCSA for that. Correct?
Okay, you got to be explicitly clear. Ask the FMCSA. You're not asking the broker, and the broker doesn't have any authority to ask you to do that.
Ask the broker. I never said that. I said you, the carrier, can ask to waive the right, which is a regulation, the FMCSA to waive the right for hours of service. Am I correct in that statement? Yes or no?
You can ask the FMCSA to do that under a certain, but there are certain only things that they could fall under to be able to do that. But yes, you are correct.
Just like when I said to you, can I do this contract? You said, yeah, but the only reason you can do that is this. It doesn't matter what the reason is. I can ask you to waive your right to broker transparency. It doesn't matter why the reason is. I can do it. Yes or no? Yes. So what did I say that was wrong last week? Because I just got you
said
twice.
The broker can ask you. When you say I'm assuming you're talking about a broker can ask you to ask the FMCSA. Is that the way that we're talking about it here?
No,
then I misunderstood you. Go ahead.
For you to waive your right for broker transparency.
As a broker, be specific here, because you were also a carrier, then you're a broker, but now you're a broker. So as a broker, you can ask me to do whatever the hell you want. It just the carrier has to make that ultimate decision if they're going to ask, but it has to fall within certain things.
And if I say no, I don't have to use you. So again, you came on kind of throwing me that, trying to say, well, I'm throwing me on the bus, and I was wrong. And then I said that a carrier can ask to waive their rights and to the FMCSA, and the FMCSA can say yay or nay, and you have to present why you're going to waive your hours of service or why you need that. I said that you can waive that regulation. So I said regulations can be waived. So then you said I came on last week and I said a bunch of incorrect statements. Can you tell me what those are?
I'm talking about in terms of, okay, so let's talk about when a guest came on and I believe the example was he was delivering, you had a contract, it's an FTL contract saying it was 2 pieces and I don't know, a certain amount of weight, but it went to the shipper and then it's also 8,000 pounds or something like that. It's a material difference of what the actual agreement was. And you're saying, I bought your whole truck. I could put whatever I want on it, go and deliver it. That is absolutely not the case. And that's not the way. And that's why the BOL of contract is there. If there's a material indifference, and here's why. When you say, and you make the carrier is going to base his rate based off the information that was given, even if it just says FTL on that rate confirmation.
What does that mean?
Of it,
what does that mean? What does that
full
mean?
Truckload? First of all, full truckload is a service level, not a rate. So let's clarify, okay? It is a service level. When you say full truckload rate, okay, that might be your terminology from the broker.
Rate. I don't have a full truck rate. When I buy a truck, I might put 2 pieces on a truck. Okay? I ship that in the contract. It's listed as full truckload. Full truckload. That means you're giving me a price for a full truckload, even though it's 2 pieces. Because guess why I do that? My 2 pieces might be $90,000 for my 2 pieces. So you don't have insurance. If you don't have more than $100,000 of insurance, you can't cover that load without having the proper insurance. You'd have to have 250, right? So when I do my loads, it's full truckload. Give me your price for full truckload. If I put full truckload on the contract and you sign the contract, are you telling me you don't have to abide by the contract? I thought you were some type of federal agent. Is that not true? You don't have to abide by contracts that you sign?
Okay. I don't make statements and then ask a question at the very end. Okay. Number one, I'm telling you by contract what the BOL even stands for, okay? And it's telling you when your rate confirmation and
Okay,
you
wait.
post a load or you talk to a carrier. Can I finish? Because you
Yeah, but
said your part now.
you're
I'm giving
confusing.
you this specific example. Hold on
You're
a
confusing
second, buddy. Hold
DOL
on
as
a
rate.
second. Let me
Are
tell
you not?
you, when you do a full truckload rate to a carrier, you say it's 2 pieces, 1,000 pounds. He gets to the shipper and it is full truckload, but it's 8 pounds and it's 10,000 pounds more. Here's why. Everyone who's listening, why it's a material difference. When you go to the shipper, it's going to take you longer to load. When you go to the receiver, it's going to take you longer to unload. You're going to have to strap your stuff up. You're going to have to distribute it properly based off the regulations to be able to provide the weight on certain axles to make sure you are legal. You might have to include a fucking lumper when it comes to this kind of stuff. You are wasting your fuel. The carrier
You are.
bases his information on a certain aspect of what you
Hang
provided.
on.
When it
Hang on.
says FTL 2 pieces on a rate confirmation, Sage, that's
You
the
are
contract.
literally.
It is a material difference and it's a material breach. It's different if you were to take it and then talk to him about it later. But if you have every right to say, no, this is a material difference in what you explicitly stated, that is a big fucking difference. It
It's
happens fucking a lot and it's not appropriate because the
perfect.
BOL, I'm sorry,
Perfect. So when you first of all, you threw lumper in there, you threw all kind of crazy in there. So let me ask a quick question.
there's
If I
nothing
were to say
crazy
40,
about what I'm telling you.
sure it is. Where did lumper come in? All of a sudden, because there's an additional
You
piece,
don't know.
lumpers.
I'm not saying
If
like it could be a material difference. I don't care if it's 100
wait,
pounds
if
or it's
lumper,
8,000
oh,
pounds. You're talking about contracts. You were
so
talking about the other person, Kirk, yelling at them. You could violate a contract. Well, you violated your own. It's a material breach of what you are selling. Okay.
hang on.
That's the
First of
whole
all,
purpose of it.
if lumpers get involved, that's completely different, and we all know that. So you don't need to throw that in there.
Uh,
But also, what
okay.
happens if?
Forget the lumper, but it's also a material difference. And in terms of what is
Question.
the
Let me ask. Wait.
contract and what is agreed upon, that is a materially different thing than what you are saying.
So when I put 40,000 pounds on a load and it ends up being 10,000 pounds, I can short you money because it's a material difference.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you don't know what I'm talking about. Now you're lost. Now you're lost in the weeds. So let me explain
First of
something
all,
to you.
I'm not lost at all.
If I
I'm not
the
lost
load,
at all.
if I say the load weighs 40,000 pounds and you pick the load up and it's 10,000 pounds, can I change the rate con because it's a material difference and then take money back from you?
It doesn't happen, but you sure can.
Okay, so brokers should start doing that. We should start saying what's the actual weight because it's a material difference.
You're
But if
asking
I
a completely different question, then, right? And you've completely avoided of what I'm telling you the carrier's right is at this point. When you
what
say
I
FTL, it's not a blanket statement where you could say you get your whole. I don't care if it's dedicated or not. You said
do,
two
so
pieces. That's
here's
the
what I'm
way it
gonna do.
rule. That
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say full truckload, 40,000 pounds, and that fills the truck. It doesn't matter how many pieces it is. I don't know how many pellets it's going to be. It's going to be 40,000 pounds. And I'm going to say full truckload, 40,000 pounds. But if it ends up only being two pieces, you still got to haul it as it's in 40,000 pounds. Do you agree with that?
you're asking me two different things. If it's a change in rate or
No, but
you haul it.
I don't know why you don't understand. If I say on the rate con, not the bill of lading, that's something different. On the rate con, I say full truckload, 40,000 pounds. And you show up and it's two pieces and it's 10,000 pounds. You still have to haul it, correct?
Wrong.
Oh, you
Wrong.
don't have to.
No, I don't. You could go back and say this is a material difference. Okay.
Yes.
Everyone thinks that's the way it is, but it's not. Okay. I'm talking about the contracts in itself when it comes to the BOL and your rate confirmation. Okay. When you
No,
say FTL is a rate, that is a broker's
no,
rate
FTL is not
to
a
the
rate.
carrier.
A rate.
It's
FTL is not
okay.
a
FTL is a service level. I understand that. But what I'm trying to tell you is that when it says FTL, two
rate. What
pieces
does
on
FTL
your
mean?
rate confirmation, okay, it
You
doesn't mean it's a blanket to go whatever you want on the truck. And a
as
lot
a
of
bill.
people believe that. 90% of the people believe it, and it's not
Then
true.
what does a
Okay.
service level mean? What does a service level mean?
There's a class of service like a FTL, LTL, whatever
What
you want to call it, intermodal. These are all classes of different
tell me
freight.
what that
So
means? Tell me what FTL service level means. Tell me
are you
what
talking
that means.
about You're talking about the terms. Is that where you're going? Because you're trying to like back me in a corner, and you're not. I'm going to win every time, dude. I'm trying to tell you right now, full truckload. Okay,
What's that?
I'm giving you the specific example, and you're dancing around, and you're not answering. I give you the example that you provided yesterday. A material difference. It's a fucking breach. Okay, it is not the agreement that you did. You said that I'm going to fucking take 2 pieces on a full truckload. Yeah, you have a full truckload rate, meaning my entire truck. I can't put anything on there, but it doesn't mean you can put whatever you want on there.
I have a separate question for you. A separate question. Are you ready?
Again, you're asking me a different question left and right all the fucking time.
Imagine you didn't have breakfast this morning. How would that make you feel?
Okay, you know what? Listen. You're really going to go there with me, and you're going to give me a hypothetical construct and understand a hypothetical fucking situation. Yeah. If I say, "What if your best friend sticks your cock in your mouth?" How do you feel? What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Are you really going to go that fucking down that route with me? Do you know what the fuck I do? You're going to give me a hypothetical fucking construct that I can't realize a hypothetical situation?
Yes.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. Get this clown off the fucking line, dude.
I just literally asked you
Get the fuck out of here. You're really going to fucking, you're trying to fucking put yourself on a pedestal and say to yourself, hey, you can't understand and even realize a hypothetical situation, you narcissistic fuck. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
I'm asking you a question. If PL is a service level, that means the service level you're providing me is full truckload service, yes?
You really try to get me on a hypothetical construct, dude. It literally, like, you clearly don't know who the fuck you're talking to. Go to your fucking point, dude. Go to your fucking point. Say you give me an FTL, right? A full truckload on the rate confirmation says 2 pieces. When I get to the shipper, it's 8. That's my fucking point. I can change the rate. It's a different fucking contract.
Easy, Tiger. Listen to me. If I ask you for a full truckload service, what does that mean? Does that mean I get your full truckload? Yes or no?
What the FTL means. Yes. In that sense, if you attach it, if you say it by itself.
Yes.
You said 2 pieces. The gentleman yesterday said it was 2 pieces on there.
Yes, ignore the pieces. If it's 2 pieces, but I ask you for full truckload service on those 2 pieces.
2 different things. Oh, full truckload service with 2 pieces to answer your question. That means you get nothing else is going on there. Okay,
yes, that's what it means. That was my whole point. That was my whole point. This is what you're trying to argue with me.
No, he said, dude, you're giving a different situation. The gentleman said, hey, I am fucking taking 8 pieces now. That's a material difference in weight. You're still going to have the whole truck to your shipment.
It's full. What is it? If I ask you for full truck?
God damn it, dude. God fucking damn it.
Because you can't process full truckload service. You even said it was full.
I mean, you can't process. What do you mean process full truckload service? Dude?
What is full truckload service mean? Just answer that question.
Full truckload service, like you're talking in terms of like the definition of full truckload or a broker to a fucking carrier. You're talking full truckload means the entire truck is going to from A to B, nothing else on it. Okay, correct. That's what it means.
I get full truckload service. Yes or no? So whatever if it's 1 piece or 8 pieces, I get full truckload service. Yes or no?
No, it doesn't. That's not what it means. That's not what it means. That again, everyone who's listening, that is exactly the fucking problem. It is a weaponization of ignorance. If it's 2 pieces, it's 2 fucking pieces. You still have the truck. And your example of $90,000 worth of cargo is exactly that. That nothing else can fucking go on there because you're not going to be insured for it. This is exactly why it is fucking that way.
You just contradicted yourself. I
didn't, dude.
You said, I asked you what full truckload service was. You said, I get full service of the truck and nothing else goes on it. You just said that.
It doesn't mean you can change the piece count.
Yes, I get full service.
No, it does not. No, it does not. It's not, dude. I mean, I'm telling you, I've been in cases like this all the time.
Then what does it mean?
In this specific scenario, it means you have the entire truck. It is exclusive to you. Yes, that service level from A to B. It doesn't say you can put whatever the fuck you want on it. You have to you have to determine that. If you
Mark,
flat out said it's a full truckload and that was it to the carrier, then it could be a full truckload rate of whatever's going on there. The
where's the
specific
moderator?
example was 2 pieces. Okay,
Where's the moderator?
2 pieces.
Where's
You said.
the moderator? Mark, where's the moderator? The guy just said I get full service
here.
of the truck from A to B. I get full service of the truck from A to B. But
Hold
then
on.
his next
Go ahead, go
Don't
ahead.
get confused. Full truckload is
Yes,
you have the
yes,
exclusive right to that truck, not
correct.
what you put on it.
No, what are you
Don't
talking
think
about?
you can, not what you can put. No, if you specifically say it's 2 fucking pieces, you are specific with that. That's what the person fucking decides. Okay, I don't like. This is the problem in the industry that
Who
people
else?
can fucking think they do this. I'm like, god
Wait,
damn it, dude.
the problem is
Then you
you
give
don't
me a
understand
fucking
because
no.
it's full
I've been in
truckload.
cases like this, dude.
So you don't win cases. You're losing this one because you're literally contradicting yourself. You're literally
Right.
contradicting yourself. Full truckload service. That means I get full service from A to B, right?
You're
I
trying
get.
to take
Well,
the full service
truckload
to
is
A to
just a
B,
mode.
whatever the fucking one.
Go ahead. What's that?
Full truckload is just a mode of transportation. It's the language would be exclusive use written in the agreement. Those little notes that are in
Thank
the
you.
bottom in the
Thank
TMS,
you.
that would the language would have to be there because it's a contract. Truckload is just a mode of
What
transportation.
full truckload
I
service?
was also a broker too, so I was like, I kind of understand what you're saying, but
But
and
we use
if I create a rate confirmation, the language would be at the bottom.
correct.
It'll be in those paragraphs at the bottom. It will say exclusive use. It will say dedicated. It will be
Right.
that language. It
Say
wouldn't
full.
be the mode. The mode
It,
means nothing. That's just the mode.
what?
Thank
Okay.
you.
Full truckload service, right? What does full truckload service mean?
It's just a mode. It's just a mode of
What is that?
transportation. You're saying that
I didn't.
you're
What,
saying that it's like saying a hypothetical that you keep saying these hypotheticals. You're just saying full truckload. You're just saying this load
right.
will be a full
What is?
truckload.
What does it mean?
It means
You
that you want to use the full service, the full
what?
length of the cargo space. You want to use all of the cargo
Ye-
space, full
Yes.
truckload.
Yes. That's
That's what you're stating. That's what you're stating. But the language of the contract is in the language below.
But hang on. You just
Yeah, the mode. That's just a mode. Just the
a
same thing as
mode.
LTL. Partial. The word is made up.
Hang on,
We made
hang on.
all of that shit up.
But okay, hang on. So full truckload means what? I understand it's a mode.
You want to move the truck. You want to
Yes.
move the load for the
Yes.
full service of the vehicle.
Correct.
You want
Okay,
to use the
stop.
full vehicle.
Perfect. Yes, correct. What is LTL?
You want to use less than the full service of the vehicle. You want to
Perfect.
use less than that. And it's really
What?
those two modes for ground transportation. Partial is a made up word.
Correct. So what? But what does partial in the industry mean?
Partial is it's more volume than a less than truckload load, and it's less volume than a full truckload.
Truckload. So if I
it's more volume based, but the correct term is actually volume LTL. There is no
correct.
such thing as partial.
I understand, but it's a term we use here, so I'm just trying to get.
Yeah,
So
it's a term we use to for people who don't understand, and it's a way to negotiate. We use it. We actually use it as a way to negotiate.
well, I don't do.
It's
So
like if you're talking to a person that has an equipment type that it can fit on, I'm going to tell a box truck, I'm going to tell a hot shot, oh, it's a partial. Or I might tell a driving, oh, it's a partial.
but it's an
But they
accept.
don't understand LTL. LTL is it's very specific. You could get away with a lot of language by saying partial. I could say, hey, I want to expedite it, but I could say, oh, but it's a partial. You can get away with that language, but it means nothing. We made the shit up.
It's
All
actually an industry. It's actually an industry term. It's an accepted industry term.
Yeah,
Would you
it's
agree?
accepted because we made it accepted.
Well, everything technically we made the whole thing a logistics. So yes, yes, that's how it works.
I agree with a lot of stuff that you're saying,
okay.
But the
so
language
my
that
point
you're
is,
saying
here's
to him is like incorrect.
If I ask for a full truckload service, you just said the same thing. I'm asking for full usage.
Yes. But you see what you just said? You're asking. The language in the contract is what they're abiding by. So you said asking. I'm talking about binding and abiding.
Okay, correct.
There's a difference.
If I were to say I require full truckload service, What's that mean? Is that better for you?
You require? You said you require?
This load is requiring full truckload service.
Yes, that means I need to read the rate confirmation and seeing it. Does it say in the language that says exclusive use? Because you can say that and then it means nothing. You can say that and it means nothing.
It actually, because it's an industry term meaning exclusive use, it does mean something.
The contractual language, the contractual rights the verbiage has to be in the clause. It has to be in the clause. The clause is in the rate confirmation.
A full truckload service become an industry term as exclusive use. Do you agree?
Yes, but you have to define it in the contract.
I just did define it.
No, you have to define it in the contract. You're defining it by saying it. We're saying, it's industry standard, industry standard.
Yes, I put it in the contract. Yes, I put it on the rate.
Okay, then that's the end of it. That's the end of it.
Yes, that's what I've been trying to tell him. I'm not just saying it.
Yeah, because you're just saying the mode. That's what I'm saying. That's why I kept saying I understand what you're saying, but you're explaining the language incorrectly.
Correct.
I've done what you're doing.
Right. Once I put in the contract and he signs that contract, he's agreed to that service. Correct?
Yes. He will have to read the contract. We have to read the clauses. He will have to read the clauses. You have to make sure the language is there, though. You can't just say it can't just say FTL, TL at the top. And you say, I said I paid FTL, TL. No, it has to say exclusive use, dedicated, or at the bottom in the language in there. You have to say this service is required.
For this whole conversation, I never meant that I was just saying it. I meant it was in the rate con, and he signed the rate con. And once he signed the rate con for that service, it doesn't matter if it's one piece or if it's 50 pieces.
At that point, it doesn't matter what the freight is. Yeah, it doesn't matter what the freight is. There's an industry standard of how much that truck can scale.
Correct.
Weight-wise, if you're ordering a 48-foot flatbed or a 53-foot flatbed, whatever the full truckload weight and whatever many pallets can fit. For that truck, yes. But then you get into a different area when you start talking about specialized, because you mentioned that earlier when it comes to like bucket trucks and things of that nature or over-dimensional, that changes now.
Right, but I tried to explain to him, and he doesn't understand this. He thinks that even if I get full truckload service, right, which is a standard term, and I put it on the Raycon, he signs the Raycon, and I say, well, I think it's 4 pallets, right? But I want full truckload. And he gets there, and it's 3 pallets. Now he can ship that as an LTL, and he doesn't have to accept the rate, and he doesn't have to do anything.
Don't say what I don't understand, dude. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Don't understand. You said the example yesterday was full truckload, 2 pieces. And then you said last week, I could do whatever the fuck I want and put something on it. That's not what it is. Again, this is a fucking problem in the industry. If the rate confirmation says full truckload, 2 pieces, it is 2 fucking pieces. That's what the rate was decided upon. It's a material difference. And I told you why. It changes your loading time, your unloading fucking time. If it says 2 pieces on the rate confirmation.
If they put exclusive use and it's 2 pallets, it's 2 pallets. You can't, it's
2 pallets. Right.
It's exclusive use. Yeah, it's exclusive use. Now, if they put LTL or partial, and they put that language in there, says partial, or they could say partial or LTL as the mode, but if they put exclusive use in the language at the bottom, you cannot add to that load. Now, people, they don't abide by that, obviously, because it doesn't make sense to do that, but that's just them breaking the contract. Now, if the broker finds out, then they just take out deductions. I would just deduct from the rate. I mean,
right. And Sage, I wasn't telling you that. My point is that, Sage, this happens way too often in this industry where people will list it as either they don't put DIMs on there or it's the pieces are way incorrect. The weight changes material. Like, it's always, you're supposed to know what you're carrying, the weight of it all. If you put specifically 2 pallets, that's what the carrier is basing it off of. Okay. Yeah, and I'm not saying full truckload doesn't give an exclusive use. It does. But that's what he based his rate off of it.
He shouldn't have based it on 2 pallets if I'm asking for the full truckload. Why would he do that? Why would you base it on 2 pallets? And then this is why you drivers go broke. Because if you're basing a rate on 2 pallets when I'm asking you for a full truckload, you guys are dum-dums. I don't know what to tell you, but you're dumb.
They're just incompetence. They just didn't read. Kostas, you getting mad because they don't read.
Well, I'm more direct.
Read. I had
the gentleman last week read perfectly well, dude. It was 2 pieces. It was on the rate confirmation.
What is
I
your
had a
brain?
driver get upset last week about the same exact thing. I'm dispatching him. He says, "Oh, they took $150 out of the rate because I delivered it early." He said it doesn't say that anywhere in the contract. Actually, I have to read off the first 3 words of the contract. The first 3 sentences says, "Hey, if you make any changes to this shipment, delivering it early, delivering it later, without notifying us first, that we're going to deduct money from the rate."
Correct.
You have to read. It's
Yes.
there. And then actually it shows you the appointment times. It shows the appointment times when we're supposed to deliver. It's the same thing. You just have to read.
You're saying that the drivers are going to read 2 pieces and they're done with the contract. They don't care about anything else. They don't care about any of the wording. But there's wording at the bottom that says full truckload. It's mine. It doesn't matter if it's
But
50.
everything is moving, so I do understand what Kostas is saying. Everything's moving so fast that they're not like really trying to understand, and because we're using aggressive sales tactics over the phone too, because we're trying to get the loads moved. You see 70 loads, you're not trying to really go into the minute details that Kostas is trying to go to. Oh, it's 48 inches by 40 inches by 52 inches each pallet. Or one pallet is 20 inches height. Like, you're not trying to go into all that. Hey, it's LTL, it's 2 pallets. It's supposed to commodities, auto parts. Can you move it for 500 or not? Boom, we're on to the next load.
So this is if you're like I said, so if you're in the industry and you're not reading, or I'm asking for exclusive use full truckload service for your truck, and you base it on 2 pallets and it ends up being 3, well, and you base it on a 2 pallet price, that's your fault as the driver.
If it's
That's your
exclusive use, he didn't add that part in there. If it's exclusive use. If it's
yes.
LTL
Yes.
is totally different. You can start accessorial charges out the ass when it's LTL.
100%.
Because if it's off by an inch, LTL
Correct.
you can charge like $150, $500. It's like it goes the amount is crazy when it's LTL.
Yes, LTL carriers are nuts. I have to know exactly what the pallets. If it's metal, it has to be strapped to the pallet with metal strips. If it's not, I mean,
if it's protect from freeze, if you gotta use low bars, like whatever you have to use, if you gotta use a lift gate service, if it's gonna be a residential delivery, if it's gonna be metropolitan delivery, if it's a reconsignment, all of those.
That's all different. LTL, you can put whatever you want.
There's like 1,000 different accessorial charges when it comes to LTL, and they can make up new ones as they want to because it's in their rules tariffs.
You can put whatever, and then you can add to those loads. If you pick up LTL, I can't tell you can't pick up another load. But if I buy exclusive use, full truckload service, and you sign the rate con and it's in the rate con, it doesn't matter the piece count. It doesn't matter.
Now there is something that can't be changed. If you do arrive and it's over that weight of like 44,000 or it's 48,000 pounds for the load, then that's when the accessorial charges kick in, and they you have to pay out more for the overweight permits and things of that nature. That has to happen.
That's why for anytime I'm exclusive use full truckload, I list 40,000 pounds. Now I know my freight's going to be like 15, but I list 40,000 because if I
usually don't list any weight though. I usually don't try to list any weight. I just let it post with hyphens. I let it post with hyphens. I don't know if it's going to be a 48-footer or a 53-footer. I'm going to tell them, hey, I want a 53-footer because if they show up with a 48 and I need a 53, I don't need to pay truck order not used.
Okay, let me both of you guys real quick, and then I'll finish. Sage, the example last week is what I was referring to. Okay, the gentleman came up here and said, FTL 2 pieces. That was the rate. Do you understand that this changes materialistically when it changes the piece count? Because it changes the time he fucking loads, he unloads, the weight distribution on his steer and his drive axle. Yes, it does, guys. When you say FTL, and that's the only thing, if it's just FTL, then yes, okay, because the driver will base his fucking rate.
And it takes them longer to load.
This is the problem in the industry. It is so one-sided. The problem is you. The problem is you, what you're spewing out right now.
The problem is you not understanding.
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Exclusive use. I'm the host. You leave. Listen, it's exclusive use, full truckload. It doesn't matter.
I am here to straighten this shit out. Okay, I know what I'm fucking talking about. You're fucking saying that an FTL 2-piece means FTL, it could be whatever the fuck it is.
Yes.
Okay, that's not right. That's coercion on your part.
It's not coercion. It's full.
You guys,
Exclusive
All
use-
brokers, listen to me.
All
Everyone
brokers.
listening right now, understand right now that brokers, all they do is
Hold on
wear
one second.
fucking diapers, limit their liability, and protect
Understand
themselves.
words
They don't
matter.
fucking give a shit about you, and they
You
leave
can't-
stuff ambiguous on fucking purpose.
He can't
I
read a
100%
You can't
from
read
what
a
I fucking tell you. Don't tell me I fucking contract, dude.
can't read a
I'll
contract.
fucking make you look stupid right now, dude.
I just made you.
Contract, dude.
I just
Get the fuck
I
out.
just
You have one
you.
fucking client, dude. Get the fuck out of here. You have one
I
client.
just made you, bro.
Get the fuck out of here.
Bro, I just made you. I just first you
No,
came
you
on,
didn't. You haven't fucking say anything right now.
You
You
can't-
sound like an idiot. Okay,
wave.
because
You
you're
came
fucking
on
sitting
that-
there saying there 2 pieces means I can do whatever the fuck I want to your truck, and that's not what the contract. The bill of
What-
lading, right?
What kind of exclusive
outta here.
use full truckload service don't you understand?
I understand it perfectly, and you're dancing and tiptoeing around the whole fucking thing.
Oh my God!
Determine the rate 2 fucking pieces. That's what it said on the rate card. If it says
No.
FTL 2
Don't do
pieces,
this.
4,000 pounds, you go there.
Listen.
It's 8 pieces, 10,000 pounds.
Any
That's a
drivers
material
out-
fucking change.
Listen, any driver that's out there, I'm telling you, don't listen to
right.
this guy. You will get hurt
Okay.
financially.
Yeah.
Because do not quote
Drivers,
your load.
protect yourselves,
Do not
because this
quote
guy
your-
will drop cluster clauses in your
Do
fucking
not-
rate
do not
confirmation.
quote
Get
your
out of
Hey,
here.
load.
yo.
Get out of
Bro,
here.
do not quote your load based on piece count. If that broker says that I'm going to need full use of your truck, full truckload, do not quote that freight on piece count. Quote it on a full truckload for that broker. That's what you quoted on. Because that's what
I agree with that. I agree with
Most
that, but a lot
shippers don't
don't.
tell
But
you a
I'm
piece
saying.
count. Some shippers don't even tell you a piece count. They just say full truckload. It's 44,000 pounds. It's the commodity is.
Then he has to specifically fucking say FTL, and that's it. Don't write down 2 pieces, 2,000 pounds.
Oh my God!
It just says full truckload.
Doesn't matter.
That's not what you're saying. That was not the fucking example that was given, dude.
Yes,
God
it
damn
was.
it, dude.
Yes, it
No,
was.
it wasn't. The guy came on there and said he went to the fucking shipper. His rate confirmation said FTL 2 pieces, 2,000 pounds. He showed up there and it was more pieces, a lot heavier. That's different.
Because it's full truckload service,
No.
exclusive use. What don't you
No,
understand
it's not.
by that term?
Because
You
it
think-
said 2 pieces on the rate confirmation. That's your
doesn't-
contract.
It doesn't matter.
The
The
word.
piece.
Oh my
But
god.
but if it has exclusive use at the in the
full
actual
truckload
language,
exclusive use.
it wouldn't
Hey,
matter.
Sage.
For the carrier, we don't know necessarily the value of the load. What if those 2 pieces are, like Sage said, $99,000 value, right? The value of it. But it is more than that. As a carrier, you assume all that fucking responsibility.
You're required to ask the value of the load.